On the docket tonight, the murder of former beauty queen Tara Grinstead. Chanley Painter has the story.
High school teacher Tara Faye Grinstead vanished from her Georgia home in October of 2005.
The scene in Tara's house was ambiguous to us. We did not know if a struggle had occurred there or not.
The popular educator, also a former beauty pageant contestant, lived alone in the town of Osceola, about 200 miles south of Atlanta. Her disappearance alarmed friends and baffled investigators.
We needed more information because we had a situation in which many people had been in the residence that day, and also several persons had been in the residence before law enforcement arrived.
The search for clues into Tara Grinstead's whereabouts would last for more than a decade. A billboard with her photo and tip line number loomed for years in the area, along with hopes she would be found. Hundreds of people were interviewed, but leads dried up and the case went cold.
You're convinced you will find her?
I am convinced we will, one way or the other.
Then in February 2017, more than 10 years after the 30-year-old disappeared, police arrested Ryan Duke and charged him with burglary, aggravated assault, murder, and concealment of a body. Not long after Ryan's arrest, police brought charges against his friend, Bo Dukes. The two were former students at the high school where Grinstead taught. They were part of the graduating class of 2002. Their names were similar but spelled differently. It was more than their names that bonded them together. Ryan and Bo shared a secret, and Bo kept that secret for years until he told it to Ryan's brother at a party.
He said that he knew who had killed Tara Grinstead, and I said, who? And he said, your brother.
That is Stephen Duke, Ryan's brother, testifying at the trial of Bo Dukes in 2019.
And I asked him, kind of shocked, what do you mean? And he said, your brother killed her. I said, are you serious? He said, no, I'm just playing. Don't tell anybody.
But Bo wasn't joking when he confessed to investigators that Ryan allegedly told him he broke into Grinstead's home to rob her for drug money, but ended up strangling her. Grinstead's body has never been recovered, but Bo's confession helped crack the case. Bo said he helped Ryan move Grinstead's body from a large pecan orchard where Duke had dumped the body to a nearby pine grove. Bo then assisted Ryan in burning the body. Bo was convicted for his role in the crime. The jury found him guilty of concealing Grinstead's death and lying to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. He was sentenced to serve 25 years in prison. It's not clear if he will turn state's evidence against his friend Ryan when he's tried for Grinstead's murder. Ryan has pled not guilty and maintains his innocence.
Unreal, right? So Ryan Duke is the one on trial for the murder. Bo Dukes is his friend. He's already been convicted of discarding the body with Ryan Duke. He had his trial. He was found guilty. But I think the trial of Ryan Duke is going to be a lot about Bo Dukes as well. And when you think about this case, this was a cold case. And you know, we cover these unsolved cases all the time here on Closing Arguments. And we always say there's someone out there that knows something. And we need that person to call. We need that tipster. Well, that happened in this case. There was a tipster. Her name is Brooke Sheridan. And she was Bo Dukes' girlfriend at one point. She testified at his trial. Take a listen.
He told me about that his roommate had gone into her home, had strangled her, and that he had put her body on, or he had taken his truck and put her body on Hudson property in Fitzgerald, and that he helped to destroy the body.
Okay, so I want to be kind of clear because you said the word he a couple of times. Who was it that you were told killed and strangled Tara Grinstead?
Ryan Duke.
Who was it that you were told at actually put her body on Hudson Property Farms?
Ryan Duke,
Who was it that you were told helped burn the body?
Bo Dukes.
And when we say helped burn the body, was there more than one person other than Mr. Bo Dukes? Was anyone else involved with burning Tara Grinstead's body?
Ryan Duke.
Let's bring in the think tank. This is going to get complicated and confusing at trial. Ian, this is going to be the trial of Ryan Duke, but I think Bo Dukes is going to be on trial at the same time here.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it looks as though this case was not going to be just cold, but it was going to remain an unsolved case. And, you know, as we so often see, people just have to talk. I don't know why he did start talking. An old veteran criminal lawyer always used to tell me that even a fish can't get in trouble if it keeps its mouth shut. He just couldn't do it. And he started talking, and here we are. And, you know, he's got his own brother now testifying against him. You're right. Bo's going to be on trial. Why did he say what he said? You're right. It's going to be a lot of what did you say to who and why and so forth. But, yeah, this one, it looks like they got away with it had he just kept quiet.
Glad that he didn't. Glad that he didn't, Ian.
Glad that he didn't.
Yeah, Bernarda,
right. That's right.
Let me ask you, Bernarda, for prosecutors here, right? Because a lot of times you're concerned that the finger's going to be pointed at someone. Sometimes there's some legitimacy to it. Sometimes it's a little more of a stretch. Here, it's not a big stretch. I mean, Bo Dukes is a guy that's in a lot of trouble. He got in trouble after all this happened in another case, an alleged home invasion. He's got other issues. Does Bo Dukes show up in this courtroom during this trial?
So I would love to see whether they made any kind of cooperation agreements with Bo Dukes. But aside from that, you know that his name is going to be heard even doing opening statements. I will be surprised if the defense doesn't bring it up doing opening statements, because he's someone that you can point the finger and be like, oh, it does give you some pause. Maybe he is the one responsible as opposed to the guy that's on trial. So credibility is going to be the main issue at this trial from the beginning to the end.
You know, Brian, I always want the jury to figure out the truth here. Do they need to hear from Bo Dukes to figure this one out?
Well, Bo Dukes got a lot of credibility, because why did he say what he said? Saying what he said got him in trouble. He's in prison right now. So where was his motivation to lie? You know, so he's got a lot of credibility, and he may not like being in prison now that he's been there for a little bit, and he may try to cut a deal with the prosecution. I think that they do want to get the person that actually murdered him, so I see the prosecution maybe cutting a deal with him, Bo. I know he was an accessory, but like I said, they want to get the actual killer. And I think that there's a good chance that they're going to cut a deal with Bo. Bo's going to get up there, say what he's been saying the whole time, and get Mr. Ryan convicted.
All right. We are still on track for this fall. October 4th is the trial date down in South Georgia, Ocilla, Georgia versus Ryan Duke.